Howdy, everyone. This is Sharon for another Conscious Sharon moment. So, today our focus is investing in your purpose, investing in your future. And so, with this, I would say sometimes life can throw you curveballs, sometimes life can knock you down. And it can be very difficult to get up. And even when I say with your present circumstances, it may look like you will never get to where you want to be. And sometimes it can cause you to literally be depressed. Let's be real about it. It can really knock you out. And so, however, whatever thoughts are coming through your mind, flip those thoughts. Get into the mindset of where you want to be in your life, not just with your job, but in your life, despite your current circumstances. And the reason that I say this is because sometimes we can focus so much on the present moment because that's what we're feeling, especially our heart can be hurting, finances may be down. Sometimes some individuals may not even have a place to live. Even then, focus on who you truly are, who you know you can be, and who you want to be. Focus on that piece of it. The reason that I say this is because remember this, anything that's repeated, that's whether it's positive or negative, that would be the thing that would end up manifesting. That would be the thing that would end up really having more in our lives that we want. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes things just happen, sometimes things just come down. I'm not talking about that, and especially the things that may have knocked you down. Just know that when you focus on you and do the work, that's the piece in doing the work. Whatever that may be, it may be learning a new skill, it may be, reading a book to learn a new skill. It's about implementation. That's the thing that I'm working on. I am learning new skills. I am implementing and being more disciplined in planning. Those are the two things that pretty much that's going to allow me to be where I want to be, to be where I want to be, because I am who I am. But that's developing too. Even when you get down, go and listen to E.T., the hip hop preacher. He just did a podcast with Earning Leisure. I believe that's the name of the podcast, or Earning Leisure, or something like that. Listen to that podcast. And even if you just listen to him, you hear his story. He talks about where he has been homeless. And I believe he even says where he was, eating out of the trash can. Listen to Myron Golden. He talks about from the trash man to the cash man, where he was, I can't remember how much he was making, but now he's making multiple $1,000,000. Find your gift, find your why, get that purpose. Sometimes we may not always know what our purpose is, but there's usually something within our life that has been pushing us. Know you have what it takes. Definitely. Please listen to Myron Golden, because he talks about it, how you can go from here to up here, wherever you are. ET talks about that as well. I'm telling you this as well. And so the other thing is, have no shame of wherever you are. None of us never know where we will be. Sometimes we get placed in certain situations for different reasons. Sometimes it's for us. so that we can develop the skills in doing something. And sometimes it's whoever may be helping us out. We never know. Sometimes it can be a combination of both, people supporting each other. Sometimes you don't even know that you're supporting each other because you're dealing with your own stuff. And so that's the other thing. Ask the universe to support you, and you'll be surprised of who's coming down. And sometimes the support doesn't come in the way that you think, because a lot of times we ask for tangible support, and sometimes that's not where it's at, because we all have it within us to be able to level up, to be able to get to the next place. But you say, "Oh, Sharon, I keep getting knocked down." Get back up. Get back up, because all of this has to do with us being a self-care giver. I know on my I have a podcast and I talk about being a self-care giver. So it's those things that we do or don't do for ourselves. And so just know that you are here for a purpose. Your story is here for a purpose. Sometimes along the way, we need to develop certain skills and even characteristics so that we can convey that to the world. So know that you are supported in so many different ways, but at the same time, it may not be the way that you think that you're supported. The main thing is support yourself. And when I say that, with your gifts, as they say, your gifts will make a way. But we have to put in the work. I really do believe that sometimes we forget about that piece because things are really hard, but there's no way to be, regardless of what kind of wealth that it is, whether it's wealth in being healthy or wealth in the materialistic money piece of it, there's work to do. There's effort, there's intention, there's the mindset. Again, if someone is in the mindset that they can't, then it won't. And it takes. And even when it comes to being, because even Myron has said this, he had to change his mindset. And he said he didn't even realize that, yeah, he did have some scarcity mindset. But once he figured something out, he kept trying and trying. He had a full-time job while he was working on his entrepreneurship things. He said it took him, I want to say 14 months before he finally got paid, but he kept trying and trying and trying. But you listen to him and he can teach you some ways where it won't take 14 months. And that's the thing too. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort. Listen to people. If you're able to get into a coaching program where someone can pretty much speed up, it really does speed up the process, but you still have to experience certain things, but you don't have to take the time to learn it on your own completely. So again, invest in your purpose, invest in yourself, invest in your mindset. It's hard out there for some people. And sometimes we're able to help them in tangible ways, and sometimes we can only help them emotionally and with support. But however we help others, the ball is really in their court of how they receive the help and support, what they do with it. It's the mindset. And it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And he's like, "Sharon, but you never have." No, I haven't. But I know other people who have. I've seen it personally. I've seen it professionally. I've seen it. Yes, you do go through something, but just know there is something on the other side. But what matters now is how you see yourself. You are not a failure. You're not a failure no matter where you are. If you have no job, you're not a failure. You have no home, you're not a failure. These are just stepping stones to get you to where you need to be, so that you can be the person that you were set here to be. You all have a story to tell. Someone needs to hear your come up. Someone needs to hear that. Now, there are some things that I've experienced, that I've gone through, that I am sharing, that I can share to help someone else. Like when I cried for 40 days and 40 nights, how did I get through that? I literally did. And actually, I always say it was really more than 40 days and 40 nights. So we've all, at some point in our lives, even if it's later in life, will experience something, but it's what we do when we experience to get ourselves off the ground and up and be where we need to be. Because somebody is waiting on you for your for you, waiting for your story, waiting to hear your journey, waiting to hear how you got out of it. I realize that it's hard. I realize that it's hard, but just know your gift will support you. Definitely, definitely, definitely listen to um, Myron Golden and listen to E.T., the hip hop preacher. And there are others, even believe his name is it Damon John. He talked about where he had to sleep on somebody's couch. How many times when it comes to these entertainers, whether it's the music or acting, where they've had to sleep on somebody's couch when they didn't know where their meals was coming from. Even some comedians talked about being homeless. And so you're not the only one. If one person can make it, so can you. You got this. You got this. And yes, it takes some work. Does it take hard work? It depends, but it does take work. That's the main thing that I'm saying. It takes work, it takes effort, but it's about being intentional and not letting anything stop you, no matter how many things come in your way. Know that you got this. You are leveling up, you're getting yourself out of this hole, because again, if one person is able to do it, someone else can. Someone else can. Just know that. Sometimes you may be your own cheerleader. There may not be anybody who's able to lead you on, because the other thing I'm going to say too is that over time, sometimes that can be a bit much for somebody to support you. Can't get mad at them, because we're all human. We all have our capacity of what we can take. So keep that in mind too. It doesn't mean that someone doesn't want to help you. They just may not have the capacity to help you, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or even financially. They just may not have it. Because over time, they have to make sure they take care of themselves too. So keep that in mind. But know that you have the capacity to take care of you, even if you don't have a dime in your pocket. Mama will tell you how to go get multiple dimes. ET will motivate you, and he would even tell you how to get it. And a lot of it is everybody always talk about, no matter what, our mindset. So when you're down on yourself, you flip it. You know how to get up. And sometimes you just have to make yourself get up and move. Move, move, move. Do something. You can. You got this. Someone is waiting for you. Someone is waiting to hear your story. So I just want you to invest in your purpose so that you can uplift someone.